Almost every nation around the world has its own version of the Head in the Sand Club when it comes to Middle Eastern immigrants. For some bizarre reason, liberals the world over are attempting to convince everyone that the bleeding heart approach won't make you bleed, when all evidence points to the contrary. They're trying to convince us that those who claim to be Muslim won't do what Islam teaches, and that letting droves of people who are ordered, on pain of eternal damnation, to kill us is okay. I mean, how could that go badly? Italy is apparently no exception. They've had a big influx of immigrants just like the rest of the world, because when you destroy the culture in one country, the only thing left to do is infiltrate and ruin another one. In an effort to help support the soft and fuzzy image for the immigrants in Italy, one reporter went out to the streets with her cameraman to show the living conditions of the immigrants. I'm not sure if the non-natives couldn't understand what she was doing, or if they just saw her as a piece of meat instead of a person. But for whatever the reason, the very people that the reporter was trying to help decided to attack her. That's when this puff piece got a whole lot more serious. Last Wednesday night, an Italian television reporter and her cameraman were allegedly assaulted by refugees as she walked through the central train terminal in Rome. A video of the incident that has now gone viral shows Francesca Parisella, a reporter for the Italian TV network Matrix, speaking to Matrix News anchor Nicola Porro about the refugees from Africa sleeping outside the terminal. Parisella was in the midst of explaining that the refugees were waiting to travel to Milan, where they could then migrate to other European countries, when the camera dropped as she said, "We've been assaulted." "Pirro, get out of there. Don't worry." Then Parisella screamed at the refugees assaulting her, "What do you want? What do you want? You're crazy." Pirro warned, "Oh, God. Francesca, get out of there," before instructing his producers to call the police. When the live feed resumed, Parisella was talking from inside a cab. The Vlad Tepes blog transcribed the report in the Il Giornale. As soon as Nicola Porro connected with his correspondent around 11:30 p.m. at the station terminal of Rome to document the situation of the campers who congregate there at night, Francesca Parisella had just enough time to begin the connection before announcing, "They have assaulted us." With the camera weaving, it was understood that the journalist and her cameraman were fleeing, and the voice of the reporter changed in tone into an actual cry of fear. A few minutes later, Porro, from the studio, explained that Francesca is upset, but well, they have destroyed the camera and beaten the cameraman. A situation such as this evening's should not be a report from a war zone. Thanks to a taxi driver, a much worse outcome was avoided. The version was confirmed by Parisella herself, by telephone shortly thereafter. "We were at a distance to report on the type of welcome we can give. They were disturbed and they assaulted us. They chased me and grabbed me by the jacket," explains the journalist. Is it possible that there are some good-hearted immigrants? Absolutely. There are almost assuredly those who genuinely need refuge. Are they all like that? Absolutely not, as this reporter so violently found out. So what's the answer? For anyone that's a citizen in a country with rampant illegal immigration, I would recommend that, as with any interaction you have with someone threatening, you speak and carry a big stick, or better yet a big gun. As for the government in any country, their number one priority is supposed to be the safety of their citizens, not their public image to the rest of the world. That means that you do some big-time picking and choosing as to who enters. It's okay to be the villain, you'll be painted as one by some group of people no matter what you do, so try acting in such a way that as many of your citizens as possible get to go home at night, and your economy can thrive as much as possible. I know, what I'm saying isn't politically incorrect, but that's life. It's messy and unfair, and sometimes you end up with results that you don't like, but if you're not willing to make a few enemies, you might end up making friends with the pavement, as this reporter so painfully found out.